Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Make Sense podcast. I'm your host Abax, and welcome back to another episode. Obviously, so for many of you that don't know, there's this video on TikTok that's been circulating. I think I saw this video my friend like last week, but I reacted to it the week. I saw it 2 weeks ago, but I reacted to it the week after. If you guys have not seen the video, here's the video right there.
I'm not useless, so I'm not useless. By God's grace, I'm not saying no they work out for me now. I'm not useless. May God forbid uselessness. Because not be one way they work out of person's life. Just because I say one thing no work, no means another thing no work.
Where the other thing won't work?
It go work, mommy. It go work.
Where the other thing?
It go work.
How old are you?
It go work. Now 22 years like day. 22 years now day, mommy. I no go thief. Cause you dey hard. 22 years now. They know where they use me. They compare. From much they use me. They compare. Now they fight for them. Use me. They compare them. What thing they ask you? What thing they say me you do for me? Not me. They carry everything for myself. What thing they ask you? What going the time say you put me 80,000 naira? 150,000 now they send down. 150. I tell you now. 80,000 now give 150 now they send down. And my money and they add. And they go to work. They ask you for practical. Wait, the money when I do the practical, you they give me. Maybe you want cast me. Money they do practical now you they give me. You not based when they owe when they learn that work. You not based when they owe. Make I go learn when because nobody they help me they do anything. You know how much I they spend for practical.
No.
What do they tell me?
What do you talk? You talk anything come outside?
Who I want tell?
I don't go for anything go take here and do.
What will you go tell me what I want is my
What
life
will
do?
you go
By
take
God's grace, when anything I different I go see am. I'm gonna leave am.
You learn work.
Come outside, you fit even go street when you go dey talk for there. I no care. I no care.
In no book, in learn work. All the work where you know everything. What did they do for inside? See me chill out. Is that cat on the book?
As I know they use tailor, I don't want use tailor. Anything I dey can I go get am.
I for buy this machine. You don't want use tailor. What you want come use and make you see.
Okay, so this is the video. Like I said, I reacted to it. For those of you who follow me on TikTok, you would have seen it. If you're not, then I think I'll drop my TikTok page in the bio. So basically, the video depicted, the mother was basically chastising her daughter for not being where she felt her daughter was supposed to be. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, she was basically going off on her about she was using some derogatory terms like useless, the list just goes on, and daughter, obviously she stood her ground. She kept fighting back, saying things like I'm not useless, may God forbid uselessness, and stuff like that. So I watched that video and I watched like similar other videos, and it came to my understanding. I just came to the conclusion that we seem to have this undue pressure coming from our parents. Obviously, I'm not going to say my parents or your parents, but it's a general problem. So this leads me to my topic today, which is titled "The Parent Pressure Trap." So we'll be unpacking all this and more right here on the Make Sense podcast. Let's get it. Okay, so welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're unpacking our latest episode, our latest topic, being the parent success trap. So, what is the parent success trap? First of all, what is the parent success trap? Is it just a couple of wordy things that I put together? No. Now, the parent success trap can be defined as this. The parent success trap is basically the pressure to become successful, the parental pressure that is being put on a child to become successful at a young age. Let me say it again. The parent success trap is basically the parental pressure to become successful at a young age when nothing seems, and I'm going to add something just that, when nothing really seems to be working out or something is still in progress. I will take it one more time. The parental pressure trap, or the parent pressure trap, is defined as the parental pressure put on young adults to become successful in no time, especially when whatever it is they're doing is in motion or going a bit slow. Now, let me give an analogy. Let's assume you're 24, you graduated from university 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and you're at home. Maybe you just finished NYC and you have a brand. Maybe you have a t-shirt brand, or you have a soap brand, or you're into cosmetics or whatever. And at 24, you're an adult, you're not a kid anymore. You can't really be depending on your parents like that. I mean, I guess you can't if you don't have your own job, but let's put it like that. And let's say your mom or your dad working on you, designing shirts or doing anything, and just because your mates or your contemporaries or people you're older than are a bit ahead or are doing slightly better, they now start comparing you and saying things like, let's assume your name is David, and they're like, David, since you're completed from the university, you've not done anything with your life, you're just at home eating all the food, can you go get stuff like that? And it's one thing if David is not working, or if David is not trying his best, or if David sleeps 12 hours a day. No, but let's say David is actually working, he's actively engaged in something, and his parents are constantly putting this shit on him. You're not doing anything, you're this and that and stuff like that. So that alone, what it does to a person, what it does to David's psyche is it makes him feel like he's not enough, obviously low self-esteem. It's going to make him look like he's a failure, and he's just like 24. Keep in mind, this is an analogy. I don't know any Davids that's been treated like this, but it's going to make him feel like he's not, first of all, like he's not enough. Secondly, like he's a failure at just 24. 24, you're basically still I don't say you're a kid, but you still have a long way to go ahead of you, like compared to someone that's like 40, 45. So you're still quite young. Comparison, as they say, is the thief of joy. So he's always going to compare himself to maybe his siblings, older cousins, whatever it is it might be. Like he's always going to feel like he's not on that level, like he's not making any headway in life, all because his mom or dad decided that the best way to motivate him is by cussing him out and making him feel like he's less of what he is. That's not motivation, that's abuse. So I'm going to be dropping some factual stats for you. I'm going to be reading them out actually. So let's get it. So this is by UNICEF. This is a statistic that came up by UNICEF. 1 in 6 Nigerians aged 15 to 24 say they often feel depressed, anxious, or lose interest in doing things. Now, this may not necessarily come from the parental success trap. It might stem from a whole lot of other things. Not necessarily come from the parental pressure trap. It may come from so many things. I mean, maybe inadequacies, maybe parental issues, abuse, so many things can come from. So I won't necessarily attribute this stat, although it can be connected to the parental pressure, the parental success trap. But I'm not going to just put it on that. But I'm going to look at the second statistic, which says 59% of young people gradually believe children today face more pressure to succeed than their parents did, which is true, according to UNICEF and Gallup. Well, I'm not necessarily going to break down the statistics. I don't think it's in my place to start doing a survey. But what I'm going to say regarding that is that it is 59% of people, 59% of young people. Personally, I genuinely believe that we have more pressure to succeed than our parents did. Why? Because everything during their time was easier than it was now. I'm not trying to say that they did not go through any struggles or they did not go through what they had to go through. No, they did. But the truth is, when you're looking at it, but if you want to be factual, if you want to be honest about the whole thing, the pressure to succeed, they could literally do, I don't think they could do the bare minimum, but let's say this is a skill. If it's my hands, it is the scale. Our parents could literally do this and they'd be fine. Like many of our parents raised us under barely 100,000 naira a month. As I back then, for many of you who are much older than I am or who are the same age I am, like it's not like now where even with your 200, your 350, your 400,000, raising a family is hard. Even starting one is harder. So I understand that the pressure, the pressure to succeed is because everything is harder now. Everything is not a walk in the park. There is no managing, what's it called? There's no minimalist lifestyle anymore like that, especially when you're trying to start a family. So that's just what I've attributed to. The third statistic is 71% of parents say they are young. 71% of parents say their young adults' children's successes and failures reflect on them as parents. That's by Pew Research Center. Now, you are responsible for your child, obviously. You gave birth to them, you brought them into this world, you gave them life, yada, yada, yada. Fine. When you say their successes and failures reflect on you as a parent, it stems, okay, if your child behaves terribly outside, they'll say that's how he behaves in a parent's house. It's a sign of bad parenting. But if your child behaves good, you're a great parent, you're this and that, you're that. Where does that gap of when, okay, maybe you're actually trying as a parent, but your child doesn't want to listen? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So, in this particular statistic, I'm not going to say too much about it because I still think this still needs more study, because the truth is, what do you classify as successes? What do you classify as failures? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, our fourth statistic, nearly 8 in 10 teens say social media increases the pressure to look or present themselves in a certain way by common sense media. This is a known fact. This has been proven time and time again. I don't think I need to say too much about that. You scroll through your Instagram today, you see a 25-year-old driving a GLE or on a private jet. You don't even want to know how the person got it. You don't even want to know how you just, and imagine being 27, opening your Instagram, seeing a 25-year-old traveling the world, private jets, GLEs, having dinner on the rooftops and shit like that, and you can barely afford rent. So obviously it's going to make you feel like you're not doing enough. It's going to make you inadequate. As pertaining to how you look, obviously we know what's been going on. People want to dress a certain way to appeal to maybe an audience, or to look better, or to look more presentable based on what they've seen on social media. So people are not doing it just for themselves. They're doing it because this is what's the in thing now. It's what they want to look like, and that's just the world we live in today. 36% of adults under 30 rated their mental health as or poor. This stems towards our first fact, I guess. It's practically the same thing, if I'm being very honest. So that checks out, I guess. That checks out. So look, we need to address this thing. I need you guys to understand something. Do you guys know that 85% of young Nigerians say that they feel more pressure to succeed? But it's certainly something that's going on in our society, and it's something that I definitely have to address. So yeah, I just have to address it. Anyway, so it's not as if we're lazy, or we don't want to work, or we just want a soft life. Yeah, are there people like that? Obviously, but the truth is, the youths are trying. Like, we are trying. It's not. On my TikTok video, I said dreams are expensive. Dreams are very expensive. First of all, the cost of living, everything. Like, to the parents, obviously, you are in the system. You know the way things are going. You follow the news properly, even if we don't. You know how hard the economy is getting. So, and the truth is that you have to understand that in the age at which many of us are leaving school, it's not the same age as people were leaving school back then. You have that time. My dad said something about he entering the university at 20. Right now, some 20-year-olds are already graduates, or some are in their final year, or some are in 300 level. So the game is harder now, and the game is much different. Like, the thing isn't sweet anymore, because now you have 21-year-olds who are still figuring out their life, who still do. Let me bust your head. Many 21-year-olds don't even know why they're studying the course they studied. Many of them don't even know what. They just know that they give them admission form, their parents pay their school fees, they collect allowance every week or every month. Autant. So maybe the problem is you're expecting a 21-year-old who's never lived alone, who's never had to do things for his or herself, to all of a sudden start figuring out his or her life. It's not so easy. It's not rocket science. It is time, it is development, it is step-by-step training. So that alone, but should make you understand that many of us, first of all, many of us we're not built that way. Many of us that are now trying to build is now very difficult. Anytime I go to the market or I go to a store, there's always somebody advertising something. Everybody's pushing something. This one is pushing a new app. This one is pushing a new hair care products. This one is dancing for advertising. Like it's a lot. That's the truth. It's a lot. But what can we do? Because the truth is that if you just want us to get normal jobs, where are the jobs anymore? There are no jobs like that anymore now. The job market is actually one of the worst that's ever been in the past 10 to 15 years. It's terrible. People can't get jobs anymore. You tell us study this course, go into IT, do this, do that. You get a good job when you graduate. You do all of that. You convocate, and then there is no job waiting for you. Like, there is nothing waiting for you. You still have to go with your CV, ask for connections, do that. So many of us know this, which is why you see this one wants to be a content creator, this one wants to be a musician. It's not because they're stupid, it's not because they want to waste time, not because they're chasing the frivolous dream. It's because that they know that even if they do end up getting the 9 to 5 job, which, to be very honest, is not very feasible, 9 out of 10 times or 8 out of 10 times, they'll end up living on a mediocre salary for the next 10 years of their life. Unfortunately, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Imagine earning 300k in modern Nigeria now. You're going to move out at some point. You're going to have to get a car at some point. You're going to start paying bills. All these things come into play. So the truth is, many of us are opting out of the 9 to 5 life because it no longer pays. It's not the same thing. Even that modest lifestyle that we grew up having is not so easy. Like, it's almost impossible now on a simple 9 to 5. That's why you have everybody. This one has different hustles. This one is doing crypto. This one is doing meme coin and everything, because we may not be able to understand much. We may not be able to understand what you want us to understand, but we understand one thing, that the economy will not favor us if we decide to just go for a 9 to 5 job. Obviously, there are other cons of getting a real job or whatever. Obviously, the staff and, the way our generation is. But I'm giving you the main viewpoint, what every Gen Z thinks of when he or she goes to your head, and you tell them, just get a normal 9 to 5 job. Now, it's not so easy to do. The flexibility, it's not easy. The marketability, it's just a whole lot. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. Now, for my brothers and sisters in Nigerians, I will tell you why your parents probably think this way about you. Let me tell you one. Let me give you some of the reasons why they think about you. First of all, whether you like it or not, we've also asked ourselves, why do they think this way? Why do they think I'm lazy? Why do they think I'm not doing anything? Why do they think I'm not doing anything? Because the truth is, first of all, they're your parents. They're supposed to worry about you, whether you like it or not. Whether we like it or not, they're supposed to worry about us. 2, they struggled. They struggled to be where they are today. Yes, I said things were easier back then. That doesn't mean they didn't work to be where they are today. Big difference, okay? They struggled. Many of them had to probably work 1 or 2 other jobs. So we give them their flowers. We give them their flowers for what they did. And obviously, the last thing they want is the same struggle they went through. You go through that same struggle. They don't want that for you. Now, am I excusing them for everything they say? No, of course not. But I'm trying to let you know that a lot of them, especially the ones with good intentions, the things that you can have good intentions but still word out something in a not okay way. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So I want to give you guys a glimpse into why they think this way. I was able to talk to a lot of older people, ask them why they're always, why are they so frantic about you must make it, you must do this, why are you driving this way? I was able to pay into their minds, and I was able to get a few talking points. So let's move on to something else. Now, this is where I need to actually address this thing properly. This is where we need to talk this out. And it's funny because, and honestly it's funny, but I find it quizzical because all this, your mates are doing this, your cousin just bought a car, or even marriage self, your friend just got married, king, all of this, but still ties down to societal pressure. But unfortunately, it's no longer societal pressure, it's now family pressure. Because it's coming from you, the parents, it's coming from our parents. Now, when did life become a race? When did success become a... Yes, I know life is competitive. Yes, this world, we live in a competitive world. But, one thing, there was this song about Tigris. In the lyrics, it said, boy, chill, it's a marathon, not a race. Getting successful is a marathon, whether you like it or not. Some of the biggest people you see in the world today, it took them time. They had to get rejected. They had to go back to the drawing board. They had to come back and write, okay, I'll do it. So it takes time to be successful, unfortunately. But when you start wiring it in your child's mind that he or she ain't shit, or he or she is not it, you're basically taking away that zeal to try. I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense. When David wakes up every morning to you saying things like, what are you even doing in this house? You're just eating all the food. You're not amounting to anything. What's your problem? You're useless. When you start saying things like that, when you start making he or she feel like making him feel like he's less of himself, it kind of, I won't say it messes up his mental psyche. So now let's assume that business he wants to start, if he doesn't have the zeal to start it. Why? Because even if I bring the sample, nobody will even send me for house. So why would I want to try? So all of this is not it's not fair on the child. It's not fair on the child, because the truth is, one thing a lot of regions understand is, and I have to give it to us. One thing I understand, I'm very proud of my generation for understanding, is that many of us that are starting legitimate businesses, many of us that are starting from the ground up, we understand that it's a process. We understand that it takes time. We're willing to celebrate the small wins. That's one thing I commend my generation for understanding. We are willing to celebrate the small wins. We're willing to climb up that ladder from ground like this, from elevator one by one by one. Why? Because that's just how success is. Being successful, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes planning, and again, it takes time. I'm not saying forever, I'm not saying 100 years, I'm not saying 10 years, but whether you like it or not, except if you want to start an OnlyFans, whether you like it or not, it will take you time to reach success. Even if you're playing sports yourself, your tickets for don't cut like how many times before you finally cash out that 1 million. So people have been playing sports for the past 5 years, and I know sporty bet isn't a real, isn't a proper analogy to use, but you get the point. Even if you want to go into gambling safe, some people are still out there steadily staking, hoping one day they will cash out that 10 million that they want. That some people are still trying to use 100 naira to win 10 million. You know yourself, wherever you are, repent. I don't know what you're on. So, you guys understand what I'm saying. So, obviously, it's going to take time. You're going to fail once or twice, and you're going to get back up again. So, parents, I need people to understand that we are not lazy. It's not as if we want to spend the rest of our lives as liability. We are trying. Like, a friend told me that it hurts for his parents thinking that he's not responsible. His parents were talking about him not, but he was like, if they see the amount of rejection letters he has gotten, that one is even trying to find a normal 9 to 5. Now imagine someone that's chasing their dream. Chasing your dream is a lonely, scary road you just have to walk alone. Shout out to Will Smith. Do you understand? And it's not fair when you're comparing them to people that are athletes, influencers, musicians, just because they had an easier start. They had the start. They were able to make that song or those 3 songs, and it blew. And keep in mind, parents, I need parents to understand, keep in mind, you don't know what that child that you're comparing your child to went through to get there. You don't know. Your 25-year-old daughter that you're comparing to her cousin that is like 26, 27, that just got married, you don't know how many times she had her heart broken before she met that Prince Charming. The thing is that we celebrate, and it's not just a parental thing, it's a societal thing. We celebrate the outcome, but we don't see the inner workings. Like, we're quick to celebrate the results, but we don't see the time, the effort, the grit, the pain, the sadness, the tears that went into building that shit. We're not ready to see that. Same goes for everybody, parents too. So when you're comparing David to his cousin or to his old classmate that is driving a GLE, first of all, you don't know what that guy went through. You don't know what he went through. You don't know the sacrifice he went through. You don't even know whether maybe he's a fraudster. Yes, that's the truth. many youths, a large contingent of youths that have gone into crime, and were caught, maybe armed robbery, cyber crimes, whatever. Many of them come back and say that it was the pressure. Now, if they said societal pressure, we can be like, societal pressure, societal. No, but imagine the pressure coming from your own family, making you commit crimes. You can see how terrible that is. You can see how sad it is. Your own family are supposed to be the ones that pushed you into doing that. You see how bad it is. That video I posted on TikTok, I literally said something. If that lady had gone into prostitution and she was bringing back money, and her mother later found out that she would be the first person to condemn her. My own daughter. But when you were calling her useless and whatever, that she won't amount, you didn't know that. See, the thing is that things like that, when you put it in the mind of a child that he's useless or he's not trying, when that child is actually trying, not only does it come with self-esteem issues and not feeling enough or discouragement. See, whether like, let's not pretend that everybody's a saint. Deep down, you start feeling like that work you're doing is even worth it. That's the truth. It happens. Because you are strong-willed does not mean the other person is strong-willed. Like I said before, a lot of people have gone into crime due to family issues. You want to talk at the family, keep your mouth shut, John. How much do you have in your account? It's not just African magic. This shit actually happens. It is soap. It happens. Like, it happens. Which brings me to my next talking point. Accountability. Like, the truth is that whether we like it or not, we need to take accountability. Yes, I understand that I have given the parents their own as to how they need to be patient, they need to calm down, need to stop all that. Yes, but we as a generation, we need to work. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be roses. No, it's going to be a tough battle, and you can't sleep, you can't relax, you can't chill. I'm sorry, but you can't. If only we could make an app that will be crediting you 100,000 every day for just lying down on your bed. But unfortunately, there's nobody coming to save us. Except if you're born into a rich family, very wealthy family, kudos to you. But if you have an inheritance somewhere too, kudos to you. But the truth is that majority of us have to work for work for our money. We have to build our empire by ourselves. That's why I said accountability. Accountability matters. You cannot be a lazy oaf and then complain that your parents are being too hard on you. No, you are lazy. You are not willing to work. No, that's not what this episode is about. You have to be ready to take the pains. You have to be able to push yourself further. If you're an athlete, you need to be able to put in more hours in practice. Stay under that hot sun. Practice your thing. Musician, or when you go sleep for studio. Write. Throw it away. Write again. Push, fail, go up again. Because you fell down does not mean you will not stand up again. If you're a content creator, get into this, continue editing. We need to be, right now, they say millennials are the most successful generation. We need to overtake them, and we're not going to do that by just lying down and chilling. Accountability. I will say it again. Hold yourself accountable. Everything is your fault. When I say everything is your fault, I don't mean compare yourself to others. Like, you are not there because of no. Everything is on you. Okay, sorry. Everything is on you. Not everything is your fault. Everything is on you. It's on me. It's all on me. I have to make it work. I can't, and just say something, I can't die without being known as at least emperor. I have to be on that level. That's where the accountability comes from. You wake up every morning, beast. Okay, how can I do this? What do I need to do here? How do I get there? How do I do it? So that's hold ourselves accountable, man. We have to hold ourselves accountable. So the truth is, success can be measured in so many ways. Celebrate the small wins. That's what this part is for. Celebrate the small wins. If you become more emotionally intelligent, celebrate it. More financially intelligent, celebrate it. Give thanks for the little things that are happening in your life, because Thanksgiving is an application for more. If you thank God that, if you're thankful that, okay, you know what, today I learned a new skill. That's a plus for you. That's a step. A house isn't built because you want it to be built. It's not even built because you built a foundation. No, it took one brick after the other, One brick, one brick, one brick, one brick, one brick. Before you bring the cement, the whatever the fuck it is, you and JP to help me out the college, before you bring out the other building materials to build that house. That's the same thing with building it, your dreams, your goals, your everything. It takes time. If you became more financially literate, good for you. Add it to the block. It's part of the blocks now that used to build your empire. Became more financially literate. Maybe you got a new job today. It's also part of it. Yes, I know nobody wants to work 9 to 5, but people when they find job, you found a job. Nothing stops you from having a job and building your dreams at the same time. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Will it be harder? Of course, but that's rise to challenge. You just have to rise to it. You have become more independent. See, celebrate those small wins, okay? Celebrate those small wins. You just have to celebrate it. Now, to conclude with all this, first of all, parents, I need you guys to do something for me. Can you do that? Just one thing. Never stop believing in your children. Never stop. Never stop believing in us. You are our number one fan. You should be our number one fan. That's okay. You need to no. Move at your own pace. Keep working, keep grinding, keep doing everything. And I guarantee you, one day you'll look back and be like, hi, back then. So that you'll be able to pass the same advice to the younger generation. So like I said, keep going, work hard, stay accountable, and just keep going. Parents, like I said before, it's one thing, encouragement, but encouragement and pressure are not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. It's that encouragement you need. Pressure, keep encouraging us, keep pushing us to be better. So David, what's next? David's parents should be like, so David, what's next? How is this thing going? Is there any problem? How can I come in? How can I step in? Is there anything? Let's go, we're a team. Together, just have to keep going. Rapido, just be going. Okay, we've come to the end of this episode, man. Guy, I straight up turned into an inspirational speaker. Wow. And interesting. Anyway, it's been your boy Abax. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode. Yeah. Thank you very much, man. This will be the second episode of the podcast. Obviously, I have way more audio on the Spotify, so I'll be dropping the Spotify link in the description down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please, always like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Peace.